I'm retired professional triathlete, TJ Tollakson, and you're watching Reacts. Whoa, 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 whoa. That's a disqualification. That's a disqualification. Oh! Yikes. Yeah, you gotta dismount before the line. Both of them. Staff, they should know better.
Into T1, remembering how to get a swim skin off, putting a helmet back on at speed. My mount was pretty slow. It normally is. I mean, when
ooh, Lucy, Charles, Barkley. Oh, Mo.
So doing those things at speed.
Didn't even attempt the flying mount. Just put her leg over and started grinding. Man, that cost you 10 seconds easily.
Now, you may have heard of a flying mount. I did a flying dismount. Definitely not my finest moment. I think Bill Christie, who is top guy at the NASCAR, owner of the NASCAR circuit, he said it's probably going to go viral on NBC.
Oh, Lucy, we need to work on this. I work on this with these little kids. I would love to have you, Lucy, Charles Barkley, I would love to have you as a guest at one of my zippers practices, because you could teach these kids so much about swimming, and these kids could then teach you how to mount and dismount your bike better.
Yikes.
Yeah, this is something. I mean, geez, she's a world champion, right? She should have these fundamental skills down. Lucy, you've got an open invitation anytime you want. I'll help you with that.
So, quite looking forward to that. Not. Just didn't slow down in time.
This is TJ.
And I knew I did not want another penalty for going over the dismount lines. Braked super hard, put both feet down, just went straight over the front of the bike.
That is right. You do not want a penalty or a disqualification for riding over the mount line. And sometimes it's a little tricky to know exactly where it is. That's an athlete's responsibility. Know where the dismount and mount lines are and obey them.
So luckily I really didn't hurt myself from doing that. I was absolutely fine. The volunteer there was absolutely amazing, checking I was okay, grabbed my bike. I had my penalty to serve, which I've only ever had 2 penalties in my life, so I didn't know that you're not allowed to do anything in the penalty tent. So I basically grabbed everything in transition, run up to the penalty tent, thought that you could do everything in there. You're not allowed to put your shoes on in there, which I got told when I got there, so I had to go back out, put my shoes on, then go in. I was told that I could put everything else.
I would probably actually advise Lucy to do the opposite. I'd probably say run into the tent as fast as you can, because your heart rate is going to be super high right there. Hold all your stuff, and then once the penalty is released, put your shoes on and start running. It's a lot calmer way to do that. You can't put any gear on, take any gear off. They do usually let you stretch in a penalty tent. I've been penalized one time, and I was penalized as an age grouper, not as a pro, but I'm certainly well aware of what penalties are and how they should be used and what people get them for. Penalized once, long before I was pro, and it was a special rule just for that race, and I missed the pre-race meeting, so just made sure that didn't happen again. Whew. Rollers are hard. Uh-oh. Oh, man. This is embarrassing. This is me in my work clothes.
We're just gonna start out like this.
We're just gonna go ahead and hit pause on that. Yes, I can ride rollers. Yes, I was having a hard time hopping on my rollers, and it is a skill that if you don't practice on a regular basis, you're probably gonna have a hard time mastering. And so you saw that right there. Wow, that was me struggling with the rollers a little bit.
In a video posted to his Instagram page, world-renowned French triathlete Vincent Louis says while competing Sunday in the Indian Wells La Quinta Ironman race, he was hit by a car. He says he'd already completed the first portion of the triathlon, the swim, exiting the water in first place and switching to his bike, with a minute lead on the next racer.
I was leading the race, and with maybe 15 Ks to go, the lead car took a wrong turn, and then I got hit by a car. Yeah, I hit the deck pretty hard. It was tough.
He says he jumped back on his bike with the only goal of reaching the finish line.
This is a tough one, right? I've actually been in this exact situation in a race before. It's tough sometimes when you're leading the race, and it's the athlete's responsibility to know the course, okay? I'm gonna repeat that. It is the athlete's responsibility to know the course. So when the lead vehicle leads you the wrong way, it is still the athlete's responsibility to go the right way. Super hard to do. I made the same mistake he did. Luckily, I was not hit by a car, but that's super tough. What do you do in that situation? Do you follow the car? Well, most likely, since they're a race official, you'd say, yes, I'm gonna follow that car. Follow that car. But if you know 100% that they're going the wrong way, you should turn, not follow that car. The problem is, it's that little bit of doubt in your mind that you might not know where you're going, or there might have been a last second change. That's where you get into problems, and then wow, disaster. Hit by a car when the lead vehicle took him the wrong way. Dude, this is a huge mess up from Ironman's standpoint. I mean, this should never happen. That guy was destroyed, bloody, all over the place. He's one of the best athletes in the world, and wow, that's just a mistake that should have been avoided all around. But I put Ironman way more at fault for that than I do Vincent. It just shouldn't happen. But kudos for him for hopping on the bike and finishing well.
Hi, my name is Wes. Triathlon swim starts can be pretty brutal at times. I've always had the motto that you need to train the way you race, and that's why I'm trying to simulate what it's like in a race situation.
This is one of my all-time favorite commercials because it's really true. The only thing that's unrealistic about this is that there's nobody grabbing you, and that's the big difference. So yes, people are hitting you this entire time, but in a real swim start, people are grabbing you, grabbing your shoulder, grabbing your head, grabbing your ankles. That's a reality, not expressed in here, but this is a reality of the sport. Tokyo Olympics.
They're off.
Oh my gosh, dude. If you didn't see this live, I mean, what a disaster. Like, what are these guys supposed to do? And I'm with them. Like, these guys, there's a boat right in front of them. So this is an absolute disaster. What are these guys supposed to do? Dive under the boat, then get run over, sucked into the propeller? This is the triathlon on the world's biggest stage, the Olympics, NBC coverage. And wow, this was a big flub, like major F up. What are these guys? These guys are all anaerobic at this point. They're in there. These guys are standing here saying, what, you're gonna handicap this now? How's this gonna go down? They have no idea what's gonna happen.
In the heat of Tokyo.
Now this is a false start. They've gone early. This is well, drama aplenty at the Odaiba Marine Park. As you can see, the outside.
Now, even a bigger screw up, right? Like, this guy in the kayak needs to go out there and tell them right away, stop, stop. These guys are wasting a huge amount of energy right now, and they're budgeting for 2 hours effort. This isn't part of their budget right now. This should be stopped immediately, and that guy in that kayak should have been out there right away to stop that.
And a couple on the inside maybe have gone.
Uh-oh, here comes the rescue boat, here it comes.
And they're trying to get to them.
They're trying to get them and get them back, my goodness.
We restart, doesn't look like much at all.
Blummenfelt, the world number 3, went in, so the nervous energy has become nervous anxiety now. So half the fit.
It's taking a long time.
It's taking a long time. All right.
Ready to go. And this time, they all go. And for the second time of us.
How cool is it to have Batman narrating the Triathlon Olympics? I mean, that's one of the coolest things ever, right?
It's the car, right? Chicks love the car.
We got Batman on here to narrate the Olympics.
Of this swim, for those that are strong swimmers, is the fact that they've now hit their tempo, they've now hit their stroke rate. But
Pow!
approaching is the requirement requirement to get out of the water and go back.
This is great. Look at how there's 2 lines forming here. This is pretty typical. This guy's leading a good line. This guy's, you'd think eventually they're gonna pull together, but it could be a long time before it happens. Oh, here, we're gonna ride it around the buoy here.
A perfect number for a group to try and build a lead at the front of a triathlon.
It's like riding a
It'll be
Batmobile.
interesting to see what happens behind in terms of whether they become fractured groups with 3s and 4s or whether a peloton.
Yeah, I mean, if you're in the lead group, best thing you can do is try to organize quickly, right? And start working together. You don't need one guy up the front. You need to start running a rotating echelon as quickly as possible.
It's an enormous pack and it's a hairpin bend, I'll give you, but goodness gracious. Is there 4 seconds behind and then a little bit of a gap to Reed, so it's starting to shape a little. There's some
all the excitement, it all boils down to this on the run.
Hard to calculate. There are always going to be some athletes that perform in these conditions.
Now, if you had to look at these conditions, it's super hot, super humid, and you just had to look at a profile picture of these racers, and you said, all right, this guy, here's his height, weight, body fat percentage, and you put all the top 10 guys in this pack right next to each other, and you had to bet money on which one was going to win. Just like a horse race, if you could look at each horse in the race and say, bet on which horse, who would you bet on? I guarantee the one you wouldn't bet on would be Blummenfelt.
A group of 10 became a group of 9. We're down to 6. And Johnny Brownlee has been at the back of that pack, that lead pack, the whole way through. When somebody struggles, he simply picks them off and goes to the back of the lead group again.
There you have it from Batman.
Precisely, Robin.
Yeah, Blummenfelt just starts to go, decides this is the time I'm going to test out the youngsters and see what they've got. Yee's the first to respond. Wild.
So again, if you looked at all these guys, would you pick the guy who's short, stocky, with a 10% double-digit body fat percentage, or would you pick Alex Yee, who looks like a Whippet greyhound racing dog, very svelte, lean build? Vincent Louis, Johnny Brownlee. Any of these guys look a lot more athletic, but I'll tell you, the New York Times just unlocked everything to me. I know Christian Blummenfelt doesn't look like he has what it takes to beat these guys on the run, but they uncovered the secret. His poop. His poop. Yes, folks, it is true. If you want to be an Olympic gold medalist, you need a group of scientists sifting through your poop to see how you metabolize your food, and that is the key to unlocking world championship gold medal races. That is what it takes. If you're not convinced, watch this, read the New York Times, and start paying someone to examine your poop. That's what you need.
Can he tack on? He needs to find something quickly. See, there's a gap now. He's going to really have to work. Is this the moment? Christian Blummenfelt.
See, again, when you look at this guy, you look at the guys behind him, you're like, can this guy, I mean, obviously he's grimacing, he's got the game face on, right? And so if you're gonna show me your war face, Christian Blummenfelt wins the contest for show me your war face! Ah! That's not a war face, Yee, come on. Blummenfelt, good job on the war face, you win that battle for sure.
He goes for Norway, the 27-year-old, looking around his left shoulder, the pain on his face says this is going to be tough. We know it's going to be tough.
Batman agrees, war face is it.
He's testing the youngsters, and they're strong, they're hanging on.
Well, what an effort after an hour and 42 minutes. Blummenfelt goes and goes deep.
We return to Blummenfelt, who maybe has put 15 seconds, or not quite, but on Yee and Wild. This is a big move.
Not quite
He is
15
really
seconds.
Going for it. He is going to set up an Olympic championship if he can continue this.
We're not sure if this is his war face or if he just has to poop again for those doctors at the finish line so they can examine exactly how he did this, because we're all still baffled. This is one of the most amazing run performances out there, and he certainly doesn't look like he has the ability to outrun those guys, but he did it. I'm gonna give him 2 reasons. The war face and the poop.
Absolutely put the hammer down. Trying to get to him, but Blummenfelt has just...
Look at Perez. Perez sees the war face and he just moves over. He's out of the way. He was like, look out for this war face. This is crazy. I mean, I watched this when it happened.
It's amazing what that gap can do. Really gunning for it now. Christian Blummenfelt from Norway. How about that?
Olympic champion.
Blummenfelt blossoms in Tokyo. Triathlon gold for Norway in 2020.
Triathlon gold, Blummenfelt, war face, and really great poop. There you have it. Thanks for watching Reacts. Let me know what you think.